Hi, everyone. Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Wednesday. That means it's Crime Stoppers today. And today we're lucky enough to have Captain John Vik with the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office in the building. We were just talking about how the summer has just started and it already feels like we're going 1,000 miles an hour.
I think the world is spinning faster with each day that goes by.
I think it has. Eventually, it's just going to throw us off into space, which I think for a lot of parents out there, they would probably take at this point.
They said summer was going to calm down. They said it was going to be fun.
Not the case.
It's going faster. I don't know.
It is going faster. So, okay, if you're new to the program, again, Crime Stoppers, we do try and do every Wednesday. And again, we have Lincoln Police on, the UNL Police, and the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. And generally, we're talking about crimes that, again, we need help solving. But with Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, you guys have a Lancaster Lookout program. Again, for people who might be new watching, can you kind of tell us again what that program is?
Yeah, so we're fortunate enough to have some specially trained investigators that work out of our office with the Metro Area Fugitive Task Force. And their job is to hunt down the worst of the worst in Lincoln, Lancaster County area to make sure that when they have active warrants, when they're fugitives, that they're not out amongst the public, but they're in jail where they belong, and then answering for their crimes and moving through the judicial process.
So a lot of times you may hear on the news like, oh, there was a standoff in wherever, West Lincoln, North Lincoln,
Yep.
out in the county. And a lot of times after the fact, it's, is the Fugitive Task Force executing a...
That's right. We just had one minutes before I came over here that I don't have a ton of details on yet. I'll work to get those, but we had one just earlier today where the Fugitive Task Force was out looking for an individual with warrants, and they barricaded themselves inside a house, and fortunately, as is most often the case, they were able to be taken into custody safely.
That's good.
And that's exactly what we want to have happen in these cases, that people with warrants, they have stuff that they have to deal with. They need to move through the judicial system and be dealt with appropriately that way. But the way in the front door is for us to be able to find them and make sure that they get those warrants taken care of appropriately.
And so, again, usually when we're talking with LPD or UNLPD, it's like, hey, there's this crime that happened. We're looking for this individual. When we have you guys on, you guys have kind of your own top 10 most wanted Lancaster County. So you guys know who it is. You know
Yep.
who did, whatever it was.
Yep.
We just need help finding them.
Yeah, LancasterLookout.com is our website where the public can go, and we try to refresh that page pretty frequently to take a look at our most wanted fugitives in the Lancaster County area. And it's just part of our broader mission to keep Lancaster County a safe place to live, work, and play.
And so I have that punched up right here. That's what we're looking at, is LancasterLookout.com. So again, you can see the 10 individuals that are on there. There's more in Lancaster County
Certainly.
than just the 10.
Yes.
But these kind of are top of the heap.
Yep, and we try to just feature people that either have the more serious crimes that we need to get off the street quickly, or people that we've kind of run into the trail's gone a little bit cold, and we need the public's help to try and find these folks.
And so today we're featuring an individual on that list. This is Mr. Tristan Jackson, a white male, born in 1975. So he's 49 years old, 6'1", 160 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
And we're looking for information on this individual.
And he has a warrant out of Lancaster County District Court for second-degree assault and possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited person. So based on his criminal history, he's prohibited from carrying deadly weapons and has something that precludes him from doing that. So back in December, he was involved in a physical altercation with a female victim over a cell phone. And during that fight, the allegation is that he struck that female several times and also cut her with a knife. So that's obviously not something that we want to have taking place in the community, and somebody that we want to make sure that we get picked up. He was arrested originally and was released on bond afterwards, but in February he violated his bond conditions and absconded from his drug and alcohol treatment plan. So right now we don't know what kind of vehicle he's driving. We don't specifically know where his whereabouts are. We know that he's familiar with the Lincoln, Omaha area, a few communities out west, further towards Grand Island. But we really need to help the public to try and figure out where Tristan's at and make sure that we can get him back in custody so that he can deal with, number one, his court stuff that's going on, but number two, any drug and alcohol treatment that he needs.
And so, Captain Vik, for anyone who might know information on the whereabouts of Mr. Jackson here, what's the best way for them to kind of go about reaching out to you guys?
So the best way to get a hold of us, you can always call us directly. 441-6500 is our main line. If you'd like to speak with our fugitive task force directly, you can contact us at 402-441-7350, and that'll get you directly in touch with the Metro Area Fugitive Task Force. You can also send an email to lsofugitive@lancaster.ne.gov, or just the non-emergency dispatch line at 441-6000. So many different ways that you can get in touch with our folks, but we just take any tips that we can from the public.
And this is, again, probably one of those individuals, especially with his background. If you do know something, or if you see him and you recognize him, just give you guys a call.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we have people on 24/7. This is what you pay us to do. So we just need your help to locate him, and we'll do the rest. We don't want anybody to get hurt trying to take Mr. Jackson into custody, but we just like to find him so that we can get his case wrapped up.
And again, I'll put his that's his mugshot up there again right now. White male, almost 50 years old, 6'1", 160 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. Again, brown hair may be a little bit generous on that mugshot there. It looks maybe more gray.
Definitely graying in his most recent mugshot picture that we have. So
flecked maybe with some brown mixed in there. Next thing we want to talk about, Captain Vik. I had Chief Deputy Houchin on back in March.
Yeah.
And we talked about an incident that happened at Rod's Outdoor Power Sports, which, again, right now we're looking at video of kind of the aftermath of what happened. It was a kind of smash and grab robbery that occurred. Can you kind of walk us through?
Yeah, so smash and grab burglary. And burglary, fortunately, because there weren't any people there that were threatened. This happened after hours, but they definitely smashed the front of Rod's Outdoor Power and then grabbed a whole bunch of dirt bikes and mini bikes out of there. And we hate to see this happen to any of our community businesses. I mean, these are this is a lot of inventory that came out of Rod's business, and we don't like to see that happen anywhere, but especially not in our own community. So this is definitely a case that we want to get cleared up. Unfortunately, this is a trend that we've started to see across the Midwest, but really across the country, and this particular MO has really shown up kind of from coast to coast. I mean, we've had some in the Midwest. There was another one in Kearney recently that I know we were talking about before we went on air.
And this is the security camera from the business in Kearney that had this, again, same thing. U-Haul pulls up, and they break in, they haul everything into the U-Haul, and away they roll. Yeah,
and so our investigators are working really, I mean, I just saw a report just from yesterday. I mean, they're doing a ton of work on this case, working with our partners across the state of Nebraska, across the country, to try and put these cases together. So we've got some leads that we're working through, but we can always use help from the public to try and bring these people to justice, because these are our neighbors it's their inventory that's walking out the door. That makes prices go up for the rest of us when we want to go and buy outdoor power equipment and things like that. So we really want to make sure that we can try and get these people identified, and then we'll do the work with our state and local partners to get them in custody.
I imagine it can be tough when U-Hauls are involved, because they travel all across the country and they're just exchanged at, you may have a U-Haul in Texas that ends up in Nebraska, U-Haul in Nebraska that ends up in Utah, and it's just
I mean, there's certainly a common vehicle, and that's probably why whoever these people are chose to use that vehicle, but it's not completely unidentifiable, and we've got ways that we can do that. So, if you see something, say something now. A lot of times people just worry that they're going to bother us with a tip, or that we're busy doing other stuff, and I'm not sure if this is really something that I should bring up. This is what we're here for. So
you want to be bothered.
Yeah, we want the information. We can sort out if there is something that's maybe less important or already known. We can screen that out. But the last thing I want somebody to do sitting at home watching this is to think that I should just sit on the information I have, because the more that we have from the public, the easier it is for us to clear these crimes, and it's a great way for the public to help us and cooperate with us to get these people in custody and off the streets.
It's just an investment in your own community.
Yep, absolutely.
Last case we wanted to slip in here, and I'm fuzzy on the details, so you may have to kind of help fill me in here, but this was a robbery, burglary.
This was another burglary, and this was at a local pharmacy in Hickman, Nebraska. This happened earlier this month on May 4th, early morning hours. Not a U-Haul involved that we can tell from this one, but similar kind of smash and grab type burglary type of situation where they had their front door was broken, and then someone came inside the building and appeared to be looking for medication and possibly other valuables. Now, fortunately, in this case, they weren't able to get away with what they were looking for, but the business did suffer some significant damage.
Yeah.
You can see in one of the pictures when they're heading out that front door, there's a vehicle that's out the window there. It's a white SUV, and we believe that vehicle was likely involved to some extent. And we're looking for the public's help to see if we can get this individual or individuals chance that they might have had some help in that getaway car. So that we can get these folks in custody. Again, this is a business in our community, hardworking folks, small business that it's providing a great service for the Hickman area. It's one of the few pharmacies that we have outside the city limits, and we want to make sure that we're taking care of them and doing everything that we can to try and find the folks that broke into their business.
Yeah, and a lot of pictures from the security cameras. Again, not a lot to necessarily maybe identify who that person would be. So again, any information I'm sure would be extremely valuable for you.
Yeah, and the hardest thing about committing crimes is keeping it a secret, right? And so people talk about this stuff. People know these things are going on. So we're sure that somebody from the public out there is aware that this has happened, and we're working again diligently on this case, trying to put leads together. We've got a lot of techniques that we're putting into play to figure out who these folks are, but we could certainly use some help from our partners in the public.
And again, I'm going to throw it up here. We already talked about it, but these are the ways that again, if someone knows something, whether it's about the Rod's Outdoor Power, smash and grab, about this in pharmacy in Hickman, or about Mr. Tristan Jackson, again, one of the wanted individuals that you guys are looking for. Right here on the screen are the best ways to get in touch with you guys. Again, 441-7350 or lsofugitive at lancaster.ne.gov will get you with the Fugitive Task Force.
Yep.
Non-emergency dispatch line 402-441-6000. The Crime Stoppers number, if you want to stay anonymous, 402.
The Crime Stoppers number 475-3600.
That's the one.
Yep.
A lot of numbers. We talked about it beforehand. A lot of numbers. Kind of hard to keep them all straight.
Head to LancasterLookout.com. We've got all the stuff listed on there. There's links. We try and make it easy for you to get in touch with who you need to get in touch with.
Super easy. I can punch up. This is the website. I can scroll up. There's a link that says right here. I can click that link, and I can submit a tip.
Yep.
Right there.
Right at your fingertips.
You guys make it almost idiot-proof.
We try. We try.
All right, Captain Vik, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we let you go today?
No, we super appreciate the time. Being able to have these kinds of conversations with you guys, our media partners, reach out to the public. We can't do this job alone. It really takes all of us to make this stuff work. We just want to make Lancaster County a safe place to live, work, and play.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you, Captain Vik, as always, for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Again, if you know something, again, you can contact the information that we just showed you there just a little bit ago. As always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. Till next time, have a good Wednesday, everyone.